Hey, and welcome back to another Friday episode. And if this is the first time you've seen this live, hello. My name is Irina Portnova, and this is the Vibe High Fridays mini trainings where I teach you how do we actually manifest our life? How do we create our life consciously? What does it mean? That means that a lot of people, 90% or 99% of people actually living the life by default. They are just taking the life as it comes, not understanding that we can consciously influence how we are creating and inviting the events into our life, that we can uplevel our results. And that's exactly what I teach. Again, just because we do not know something, it does not mean that it's not out there. And that's what I love to help people, because I manifested consciously a lot of great things in my life, and I'm here to teach you that skill. And today we have a fun and exciting topic, and it's all about inner voice power choice. I am pretty sure you've heard the word intuition. And actually, you know what? We are all equipped with the great GPS system inside of us. And this GPS system actually can guide us to make a better decision in life, to tune in and listen out to our inner voice in order to have better results in our life, whatever it is. But for some reason, we got sidetracked. We are not really paying attention. And obviously, our logical mind takes the front seat. And now I'm here to tell you that our inner guidance is more important, because sometimes our intuition does not make any sense. But let me tell you, when we learn how to follow that voice, when we learn how to trust that intuition, that becomes the game changer. And we experience completely different reality in our life. And I just wanted to share my personal story, because before I became the manifestation coach, I was just navigating my life, but there was that inner sense of knowing, right? I did not know how I believe that, but it just was that inner guidance that was just telling me that I'm doing it right. So let me go back 21 years ago when I was pregnant with my daughter. At that time, I was working for the corporate job, and I was having very bad morning sicknesses. And it wasn't just happening in the morning, like morning sickness. I don't even know who gave that name, because that sickness was just with me and the entire time. And it came to the point that I couldn't even drive safely to work because I was getting nauseous on the drive. And I made a decision that I'm going to stay home and continue just relaxing and carrying that baby. And at that moment, obviously, I wasn't even thinking about what's going to happen when I have to go back again to the workforce. So everything went smoothly. Once the baby started to move, my daughter started to move inside my belly. I lost already that sickness. I wasn't nauseous anymore. I wasn't throwing up. So it was going well. And once I had her, I was also staying home for another 9 months, because I was waiting for my mom, who is my guiding light. I love you, mom, very, very much. She is my best supporter and helper in life. I was waiting for her to retire from her job so she can actually babysit my daughter. And so I had the break in service, right? I left my corporate job when I was 2.5 months pregnant. And I came back looking for the job when my daughter was 9 months. So there was more than a year of breaking in service. And as I was updating my resume, I did not even have any second thoughts in my mind. I was just like, I am receiving whatever I want when it comes to salary. And let me tell you, then I was facing all these different challenges. I came to the accounting firm that was hiring people, and I'm talking to this lady, and she tells me, you know what? You had a break in the service, so you would be lucky even if you received the last salary that you were making before you got pregnant. And to me, that was a little bit shocking. And that's good that I had that inner knowing inside of myself, right? I do not know how, but I was very confident that whatever she says, it's just her story. Because my story was a firm belief that I can have exactly what I want. And I wouldn't just, agree with her. Obviously, I thanked her for the interview. And as I was going home, I said to myself, there is no such a thing that I cannot have exactly what I desire. And again, I wasn't aware about how our intuition works. I wasn't aware about manifestation at work because we are constantly manifesting. Whether we agree with that, whether we believe in that, manifestation is actually bringing something from our thoughts, from our energy into this physical reality. And we all carry something, whether this is good or bad, we are actively participating in that. And I came home and I said to myself, I don't care as long as it takes, but I'm receiving the money that I want to be paid for. And it took me another 3 months, but with that 3 months, I landed two offers exactly for the salary that I desire. And that's because my intuition was actually guiding me. That's because my intuition was telling me, you cannot settle. Because if we have that inner knowing, it's great to actually follow in that guidance. And that's what I wanted to bring into attention because a lot of times we allow our logical mind to take a front seat. And even when we have to make any kind of decision, we always go with our decision making as our logical mind before we think that we have also that intuition, that perfect intuition that can help us, that can guide us. So I just wanted to share a couple of points. How do we actually distinguish the voice of intuition and the voice of our logical mind, right? We know that intuition is very calm, it's very quick, it's very clear, and it's just very peaceful. On the other hand, when we are in our head, when we start overthinking, we are very anxious, we are stressed, and that's exactly where we know that our mind just screams while our intuition is very peaceful. So when intuition speaks, it actually feels like a relief. But when our mind spins, it feels like pressure. And that's what I wanted just to point out because a lot of times we cannot really distinguish. And why that's important. That's important for the reason that a lot of times in our life we are facing with the decisions, right? We are constantly making decisions on a daily basis, whether the big decisions or small decisions, even when we decide that we want something different in our life, whether we are thinking, okay, that relationship doesn't serve me anymore, I'm deciding to choose me, so I'm deciding to exit from the relationship, whether we are deciding, should we move in our career, should we stop staying in that job that doesn't fulfill us, even when we want to have our own business, even when we want to make a decision, do we hire the coach or we don't, right? It all requires the decisions. That's where that intuition comes into the play, and that's when it becomes very, very important for us, right? So intuition actually helps us to make the right decision. And our intuition works in the first 3 to 5 seconds. Like you have that intuitive nudge, like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I just want to do it. After a couple of seconds, our logical mind comes and it tells us all the reasons. Look at your past experience, look at your circumstances, and it starts telling us all the reasons why we cannot do something. So, my invitation today, let's start paying attention to our intuition, because we all already have the answers inside of us. But we got to learn how to trust our intuition, right? Another good point is that we know that we can train our intuition like a muscle, right? The more we start using it, the stronger it becomes. Every time we follow that small nudge, whether sending the message, saying yes to the idea, or pausing when it feels off, we know that this is the proof to ourselves that we can start more and more trusting that inner voice, that inner compass that we all have. And the more we rely on our intuition, we start noticing different things that they are shifting for us, right? And I have amazing and beautiful simple tool for you. And what you can do is just kind of practicing, experimenting with your intuition, right? If you take two sticky notes, and on one note, you're going to write the word yes, on the other sticky note, you're going to write the word no, and ask yourself through the intuition that small question, whether am I going to make tea or coffee, right? And then just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and feel which word actually your body leans toward, right? Because our body already has the answers. And the more we lean on to listening to our body more than our logical mind, that's when we start understanding the cues, because the body always is going to tell us the answers. If this is for us, the body is going to be calm, peaceful, relaxed. If this is something against us, we are going to have that gut feeling, right? To have that pain. Maybe, our heart starts beating faster. But the only way for us to understand and interpret all these signs is to really be quiet and start paying attention and listen to our body. So when we do that experiment with the sticky notes, it's not to see what is right or what is wrong, right? It's to notice how our intuition feels. So the more we understand that our intuition is never frantic, the more we start trusting every time when we have to make a decision. So our body always says the truth, and our mind is trying to negotiate it. And when next time you have to make a decision, I invite you to remember about this beautiful feature where you can connect to your body, and your body is going to tell you the answer. And if you're ready to tune even deeper into your intuition and explore what is something when you are you acting from intuition, or you are actually acting from your fear? There is the beautiful 5 days quest that I have inside of the Facebook group. My Facebook group is called Uplifting Self Talk. So join me there with the group, and you can take that quest for yourself and see, are you listening more to your logical mind, but the fear always going to tell you what you cannot do? Or you start paying attention to your intuition, because again, intuition is our North Star. It actually guides us to make the right choices, to make the right decision. And we are all equipped with the intuition. The more we are going to listen, the more we are going to make better choices for ourselves. All right. I trust you find this episode helpful. Would love for you to comment If this is something that resonates with you, if you're ready to explore, join me in the group Uplifting Self Talk, where we can dive deeper into that, where you can take the test and you explore and experiment with that, and share this episode with somebody who might be um, wanting to experience with intuition, or you feel that this episode is helpful. Lots of love and light. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and I'll see you on the next episode. But until now, continue experimenting with your intuition.